I believe there's been the changing of the guard in college football as to who holds the title as the best head coach in this sport. It's been known that Kirby Smart is the best head coach in college football, but after Georgia lost to the Crimson Tide, the title now belongs to Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer, in my opinion, is the best head coach in college football now. Ever since he took over as the head coach of the Washington Huskies a few years ago, he's only lost 3 games and only 3 seasons. And he's had some really impressive wins over the last year. Beat Dan Lanning twice, once in the regular season, once for the Pac-12 title. He beat Steve Sarkisian in the semifinals of last year's playoffs. And he just got an emphatic win over Kirby Smart. So in the span of less than a year, Kalen DeBoer has beaten 3 top 10 coaches. 2 out of those 3 are considered by many to be top 5, top 3 in the sport. So if you are able to beat some of college football's best coaches, and you can do it with less talent at Washington, and you come to Alabama, kick Kirby Smart's ass, and you keep the tradition of Alabama owning Georgia going, you hold the claim to the title of being considered the #1 head coach in college football. Kalen DeBoer is an outstanding coach. He's won everywhere that he's been. He was winning national championship at his alma mater, Sioux Falls, and most of y'all can't even tell me what state that school's located in, and you definitely can't point it out on a United States map. I'll give you $10 if you can show me where Sioux Falls is on the map. Like, Kalen DeBoer is 41-9 and 5 seasons coaching at the FBS level. When you can win at a school like Washington, who made it to the national title game with the 34th rated roster in college football, according to 247's Team Talent Composite rankings, you can win at any program that you go to, because that shows that not only are you elite when it comes to player development, but you also are elite when it comes to schematics and X's and O's, because you know how to tailor your play calling, your system, to the personnel and the players that you have on your team. Most coaches will tell you that we can't win because we don't have enough talent to do so. With Kalen DeBoer, he doesn't make those same kind of excuses, because he feels like he can win with any player at any school, because his system is what elevates the team. It's not the team that elevates the coach, like how it is in most situations. It's like why I have so many harsh criticisms of Brian Kelly, because he keeps making excuses about he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. But Kalen DeBoer did more with less, and the situation that most didn't think was ideal for Washington to ever play in the championship game due to how tough Oregon was, how well they recruited. You know, it's not always about recruiting all the time. Sometimes in college football, you can have an anomaly like Kalen DeBoer come around that's able to win with anything. And you give him the resources that Alabama has, there's no way this dude isn't going to end up becoming an all-time great. And Kirby Smart, he saw the ghost of Saban on Alabama's sidelines when Georgia lost this game. He saw Nick Saban reincarnated, which is Kalen DeBoer. When Nick Saban retired, a little bit of his football spirit left his body, and it went into Kalen DeBoer in that national championship game against Michigan. You know, Kalen DeBoer, I've said it so many times, I'm going to say it one more time. He was the best possible replacement Alabama could have hired to replace the greatest head coach in college football history. This dude is a stud. He's a winner. And we all saw it Saturday night. Even when Georgia came back from behind, Alabama still found the way to seal the deal. Georgia has only lost 3 games since 2021. All 3 of those losses have come to one team, one program, that being Alabama. Kirby Smart still can't find a way to overcome his demons, which is Alabama football. And he saw the ghost of Saban on the Crimson Tide sideline. That's why Georgia lost this game. They got kind of outcoached, even when they were able to make adjustments in the second half, and Alabama kind of got put into a little bit of stayed shocked when they was like, oh crap, Georgia's back in this game. They take the lead. Okay, we got to make some adjustments in our own right to make sure that we can walk out of this game at home with the W. And that's what Kalen DeBoer did. The fact that when Georgia came back, took the lead, you would have thought that all the momentum was on their side. You would have thought the game was over at that point. Georgia was going to win it with the crazy comeback. But instead, Kalen DeBoer and that staff, they make the necessary adjustments and they find a way to get a win against a resilient Georgia team that's just as good as any other team that's considered to be a national title contender. Georgia having a down season doesn't compare to any other school on their best season. Georgia's down season is 1 or 2 losses max. That shows you how tough it is to beat a team like Georgia, no matter if you're playing them on the road or if you're playing them at home. And the only coach to be able to take down this squad within the last 3 years that Georgia has dominated this sport has been Nick Saban and Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer has taken out 2 top 5 coaches within the span of a year. Steve Sarkisian at Texas. Most people thought Texas was going to win that game because they had the more superior roster talent-wise, but Washington was able to beat Texas and Shark in that game because of the coaching advantage that they had with Kalen DeBoer and his staff in place. This dude knows football. He's a great head coach, great recruiter. You see how well Alabama's doing in recruiting right now for a guy that isn't from the South. I truly believe that we saw a changing of the guard in Alabama versus Georgia as far as who holds the title as the best head coach in college football right now. I know Kalen DeBoer doesn't have the resume that Kirby Smart and all of the other coaches do, but if we're going off what have you done lately, nobody has done it better than what Kalen DeBoer has done in 3 years. Washington 25-3, and currently undefeated as the head coach of the Crimson Tide. Give this man his flowers. He deserves to be considered the best head coach in this sport.